Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Holy frickin' moly. Lee Zeldin does it again. We just recently covered a story where Lee Zeldin tracked billions of dollars that the Biden administration had funneled to foreign financial entities right ahead of Trump's inauguration, and he then immediately took action and got the money sent back to the federal coffers. Well, that was last week, and now fast forward to this week, Lee Zeldin, like I said, strikes again, this time exposing a $2 billion alleged slush fund that got funneled straight into a shady nonprofit owned by none other than left-wing Democrat serial grifter Stacey Abrams. $2 billion. Holy frickin' moly. I guess being a top Democrat grifter really pays now, doesn't it? Just push the left-wing grift about voter suppression, help build this victim-based ideology for the Democrats, and boom, just like that, go from $200,000 in debt and no real significant career to now controlling a multi-billion-dollar nonprofit in less than a decade. All thanks to the Democrat taxpayer-funded money laundering operations. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on here. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so just take a look at this clip from the Ingraham Angle on Fox News.
Mr. Administrator, can you explain what the heck happened here and how another slush fund has been exposed?
So this is $2 billion of that $20 billion that was parked at this bank outside of government towards the end of the Biden administration. Power Forward Communities, which Stacey Abrams is part of, only received $100 in 2023. They then got $2 billion in this grant in 2024. Now, I was just reading over the grant agreement, Laura. On the first page, it gives the organization, this nonprofit, 21 days to distribute $2 billion. But this is the crazy part. I went to page 7 of the grant agreement, and it's giving the entity 90 days to complete a training called How to Develop a Budget. Now, I would say that if an organization needs to take a training on how to develop a budget, one, they should be taking the training before they're spending $1, but they definitely shouldn't be getting $2 billion.
I mean, wow, $2 billion. I still can't wrap my head around that. And then, of course, what exactly was this so-called nonprofit even about? Was it money that was going to the black community, creating jobs and providing value, helping people get ahead in life and rebuilding communities? You know, the people that Stacey Abrams claimed to be fighting for her entire career. Nope, it was an environmental nonprofit. You literally cannot make this stuff up. Since when is Stacey Abrams an expert in the environment and environmental phenomenons? This woman's entire career has been grifting about racial politics, and suddenly she's a leading voice and the head of a massive $2 billion environmental nonprofit? Give me a break. It's obvious what's going on here. The grift is so blatant, mainly because it follows the exact same pattern every single time with these Democrats. There's always a branding misrepresentation. They don't just hand out taxpayer money to their political allies. Of course, that would be stupid. They disguise it under feel-good nonsense, like environmental research and sustainability, equity, community investment, DEI, anti-racism. That way, anybody who questions where the money is actually going instantly gets labeled as anti-science, racist, or of course, against progress. It's a total joke, and it's the same thing they do when they present bills to the floor. Name the bill something like the Saving the World's Children from Starvation Act, and then of course, anybody who looks into it, anybody who raises any concerns, any criticism, instantly is labeled as being evil and doesn't care about the kids. And that tactic, frankly, has worked for a very long time. It's been used as a shield for these Democrats. Well, I guess until today, because now we have people like Lee Zeldin coming along and starting to pull up the receipts, looking into this funneling of money, and I guess now moving forward, the grift is completely exposed and up. Does anybody truthfully believe that Stacey Abrams is first of all deserving of this position, but secondly, was doing anything of actual real value with this money? Do we truthfully believe that this $2 billion nonprofit is saving the environment? I mean, come on. It's simply a taxpayer grift. And how exactly does $2 billion go to Stacey Abrams' nonprofit with zero oversight? How has nobody been aware of this for the last however many years that this has been going on? You know what it feels like to me? It feels like a payoff. Stacey Abrams has been the Democrat Party's goon in Georgia for years. She spent every election cycle crying about voter suppression, running sketchy sketchy voter registration operations, which some people claim were linked to ballot harvesting operations. A lot of people credit Stacey Abrams' work to being very beneficial to the Democrats and their, let's call it, election endeavors. Stacey Abrams, I guess, scratched their back, and then this feels like they're returning the favor, scratching her back in return. And now actually, here's the best part. Supposedly, this $2 billion in funding for her nonprofit is just the tip of the iceberg. Apparently, there's another $18 billion sitting in that same account, conveniently set up by Biden's team in the final days of his presidency. Very interesting. It's almost as if this moving of money is part of some massive organized slush fund meant to funnel billions of dollars to their political allies just days before Trump took office. It's just unbelievable, and when you're talking about funds of this level being moved to Democrat-linked organizations, there just has to be a good explanation. Otherwise, the only logical assumption, the only conclusion that I'm leaping towards is pure corruption and money funneling to their allies. Of course, always under the guise of some feel-good program that's supposedly providing all kinds of value that the left can never actually quantify or explain. I mean, honestly, this ought to put it into perspective.
$520 million was given for a consultant to do ESG, that's environmental, social, and governance investments in Africa. $520 million, $25 million to promote biodiversity, conservation, and social responsibility behavior in the country of Colombia. $25 million, $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. They have no place in particular they were thinking of. There is no location. The money was sent out, but they have no idea where it's going. $42 million for social and behavior changes in Uganda, and $10 million for Mozambique medical male circumcision. $14 million for improving public procurement in Serbia. $486 million to a consortium for elections and political process strengthening, of which $22 million was for inclusive participatory political process in Moldova, and $21 million going to my friend, Prime Minister Modi in India, for voter turnout. We're giving $21 million for voter turnout in India. What about us? I want voter turnout too, Governor. $29 million to strengthen the political landscape in Bangladesh. Went to a firm that nobody ever heard of. They got a check. Can you imagine? You have a little firm, you get 10,000 here, 10,000 there. And then we get $29 million from the United States government. There are two people working in that firm. Two people. I think they're very happy. They're very rich. They'll be on the cover of a very good business magazine pretty soon. $20 million for fiscal federalism, and $19 million for biodiversity in Nepal, and $47 million also for improving learning outcomes in Asia. Asia got a lot of money. $50 million plus another $50 million for condoms for Hamas.
All of it sounds amazing, but I wonder who's actually running these programs, which politicians are connected to the people who are running them, and I wonder what they're actually doing. Again, there's no oversight, there's no accountability, there's no transparency into how the money is being spent and what value it's actually generating. It just seems, again, like a big taxpayer dollar funnel that's funding all kinds of salaries and kickbacks with no real explanation. And this Stacey Abrams situation is a total red flag. After they propped her up as some sort of religious figure, putting her on TV shows as President of Earth, all of a sudden the Biden admin is putting $2 billion into her nonprofit. Yeah, something stinks to the high heavens here. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys on this one. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.